Hey, how are you all doing? It's been a while since I did a video, so I said I'd jump back on here and do something. I'm going to talk a little bit about character development today, and let's say you have a hero and he's facing this world-ending dragon, but the script readers are bored, and you're wondering why. So the secret to an epic story isn't the size of the threat; it's the depth of the hero's internal struggle. So what if your most powerful wizard was terrified of his own magic? Um, what if his greatest enemy wasn't this dark lord or dragon, but it was that self doubt that makes his spells fizzle and pop? So we're going to cover three principles to make your scripts feel more grounded and more human. Um, I suppose grounded storytelling is all about removing isn't it's not about removing the dragons, it's about anchoring them to be relatable to human conflict, right? So the internal governs the external. So your first character's internal state, it's directly affects their external ability. So your wizard, let's call him Paddy for argument's sake, is the only one powerful enough to stop this world-ending dragon, but he has crippling imposter syndrome. And when he feels confident, the magic is fantastic, but once that self-doubt creeps in, his spells just go out the window. All right, so that the external conflict now becomes a physical manifestation of his inner battle. His flaw isn't just a personality trait; it's a direct barrier to him achieving his goals. And we might not know how to fight a shadow monster, but we all know what it feels like to not be good enough. So I suppose the second thing then is the flaw as a misguided strength. So a compelling flaw is often a strength that has been twisted and mangled into a weakness. And in the character's mind, it's a virtue. So Paddy sees his imposter syndrome not as a flaw, but as humility. He's seen, we've seen arrogant wizards fall to dark magic. So he believes his self-doubt is what keeps him pure. He clings to it. This so-called humility, even as it strangles his power and dooms the kingdom he's trying to save. So that creates a killer internal conflict. To save everyone, he must embrace that one thing that he believes will corrupt him, right? So the climax then is the ultimate internal test. Your story's climax, it's the final exam for the character and his internal journey. So our wizard Paddy, he can't win the external battle until he wins his internal one. And I suppose at the climax then, Paddy, he tries to kill the dragon and his self-doubt makes him fail again. So everything seems lost, stop whiff of death and everything is gone. So he isn't saved by a magical gadget, but he realizes that true humility isn't denying his power, it's accepting it as a tool to help others. And once he accepts that fear and acts anyway, that internal resolution is what finally lets him unleash his full power and get the win. So the hero wins because they grew. Yeah. So quick recap, you have your internal flaw tangibly affects the external plot. The second thing, the flaw is a misguided strength. The character clings to it. And then your climax number 3, it's an internal test where personal growth allows for victory. So spectacle might get an audience to show up and put their asses on seats, but it's that human connection to a character's internal struggle. That's what makes us care about the script or the film or what we're watching. So, look past that hero's enchanted sword or axe and find the fear, find the lie they tell themselves to get by. Make that the real battle, and you won't just have a cracking story. You'll have one that's human, and a human story is relatable. Look, I'll be back, hopefully sooner rather than later. Hope you enjoyed it. Talk soon.